I'm recording this on Yule, so happy Yule, winter solstice. The setting of the sun. And the rise of the silky, frozen white. Winter is coming, Scorpio, so is a new year and a new decade. And a new frequency. Let me light a candle for that. So welcome, my Scorpio seekers, back or anew to the Existential Shift. As always, very grateful and happy to have you here. We will be working with the Steampunk Tarot. After this reading, I will head straight to do your special Karmic Shift and Liberation spread for January and for the new decade. Since Scorpio is my South Node, my Pluto, and my Saturn, and I'm a Taurus, so naturally, there's a Scorpio in me. These readings tend to be intense. Let's see what this one brings. Messages, guidance, accurate for my Scorpio energy seekers, for their cross watchers, for simply the intuitively guided. The Hierophant. Your counterpart, Taurus. It's a card of Taurus. It's also the card of high wisdom and intuition and being guided by your truth. More than being guided by your truth, being able to guide by your truth and have people tune in. Scorpio, you are harnessing the light aspect of your wisdom. Many of you have done amazing transmutation and integration of your knowledge of the shadows, of the dark space, of the occults, karma of past lifetimes, of diving deep into the subconscious and not be afraid of anything. And that brought you to being the energy, to holding the energy of the Hierophant. And here we have now 8 of Cups. So what is it that we need to leave behind in order to fully transform into this highest expression of our wisdom? Well, 8 Cups. 8 is a number of matter. It's also a number of infinity. It's also a number of karma, so speaking of. So with all the work and with all the realizations, you now know what with and what is without. What do you need to move on without? You tell me. Each of you has your own story. Within it, its characters, its players. Who do you take with you to the new decade? Who do you part ways with? Not everyone you part way with are bad for you. Some are beautiful, glorious spirits, souls, beautiful humans whom you love and appreciate. But the path has reached its end. You know it. Maybe they know it. You probably knew it first. Unless you're dealing with a Taurus or another Scorpio. It's not that you're looking back, Scorpio, but the eyes that you have in your back are wide open. It's sweet and sour. Let's see where you're headed towards. Scorpio, January, this coming month. Ace of Cups. You're leaving 8 cups behind to get your one and only cup. Do I really need to explain this, even if you're not at the Hochi? I will link my class from my P.O Masterclass of the Ace of Cups. Each card has its own video. They all also have spiritual messages and energy work with them. Ace of Cups is a very important one, as it seems to you at this moment in time. It's renewal. It's the faith coming back. It's the opening of the heart, the opening of the chambers of the heart. You know how some of us can compartmentalize with our mind, our brain compartmentalize things? You have been compartmentalizing your heart. You feel this for that, and feel this for that, and this person is in this place, and this person is in this place. But some of what you seem to have learned in your journey is, well, also that separation is an illusion. And if we're heading towards an existence from the heart, then it needs to be complete. And there needs to be no boundaries. Oh my, oh my. Ace of Wands, the Moon, Two of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. Right. So once the dam is broken, and water can flood the chambers of your heart, there will no longer be chambers. It's like you see the keys here, you unlock one lock and then everything falls into place, like a domino effect. All the doors open up and then it's just one big space that can simultaneously sense everything around it 360. You no longer have to focus on one thing at the extent of another to feel it and understand it. Now you just are, and you have a 360 realization of what goes on around you. Sorry. It brings to light not even your shadows anymore, your instincts. The moon is also highly intuitive and instinctual, especially with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. This is the ability of sight, really seeing into things and clear knowing, immediately knowing what's right. It's like having a very strong gut instincts. You've tapped into your intuition in quite a fierce way, Scorpio. And you know, at first when you walk in the dark, you don't see anything, but little by little your eyes get used to it and you start seeing movements of leftovers of light. And you start, your other senses start to awake. So by walking in darkness for God knows how long, Scorpio, your senses woke up, expanded, and I wanted to say you found your north node, you're finding your north node, but it's more like you're finding your north moon. You can just sense things, or are about to really tap into your intuition, Scorpio. And that will make you realize, oh, interesting. Now with the Two of Wands and this Ten of Pentacles here. See the character here with the tarot card? Card dropped. Seven of Cups. Interesting. As you are more tapped into your instincts and your sharp knowing, you start looking back and seeing things from your past in a different light. Things that you missed out on, that you've interpreted as one thing, now you see it as another thing. Some of you are looking back to a situation where you had multiple options and thinking maybe you chose the wrong option. Some of you are about to recall something from your early days as a child, a message that you received from someone about your future. It could have been a medium or a psychic, or anyone that just has strong intuition that may have told you something as a child and you completely forgot about it naturally, and something triggers that memory. And it's going to bring up a lot of things. Interesting. Show me more, please, for Scorpio for January. Page of Wands, and right after the Seven of Cups. Some of you might be in a either marriage or a serious obligation that might be the thing, amongst other things, that you're feeling like you need to leave. And you have this new sense of adventure, wanting to explore what your new instincts or what your newfound instincts are seeing differently now. Oh my God, yes. Justice, Seven of Swords. So some of you are getting a divorce or considering getting a divorce, or if it's not a marriage and if it's a partnership, a long-term partnership, you might be considering leaving. Now guys, because these are general readings, first of all, it doesn't have to be your story. Second, you can be any one of the characters on the table. So you can reverse the roles, for example. But here's the thing. If you're someone who wants to leave a situation, it's calling you to be sincere about it and not try to avoid responsibility or communicating about it, like to not take the easy way out and do it properly, with communicating, with explaining, with being honest. Also, because it's karmic shift time. You don't want to clean out karma and immediately create another one. Three of Pentacles. There are some Scorpios out there, and it could be a placement of yours. You don't have to be Scorpio Sun. It could be other placements. Some of you out there are considering of leaving someone you're currently with to be with someone you used to be with, or someone that you know in your environment that maybe you haven't been with romantically, but suddenly you've developed feelings for. You could be any of the other characters on the table as well, Scorpio. Sorry. And some of you, it's the complete opposite. Some of you have been in an on and off connection for a long time, where you weren't sure, or the other person wasn't sure, and now you met someone that, if you thought you didn't want to settle down or you didn't want to commit to before that, now that you met the actual right person, now you truly want to commit to. So you're going from non-committal to complete commitment with this other person, and the person that was there for a long time, on and off, and not completely with commitment, or things weren't clear, or you weren't sure of, is like, what? I thought you didn't want to commit, or I thought you didn't want to get married. All these things, and it might be a little bit unpleasant, but I feel like it's something that has recently really stirred up within you in the past month, like right after your season, during your season of November, and from October. It's been a process from October, November, December, the past 2-3 months. And in January, you're really, if this speaks to you, you're really thinking about making that final decision, leaving, being with someone, or whatever your story may be, whatever your case may be. Wow. Bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. Yeah. There's someone you want to be with, Scorpio. So you might not be leaving like a committed relationship. You might be leaving like situationships, like a lot of people you were dating on and off, that you're now deciding to put an end to all of it and kind of just focus on one thing, or the complete opposite. Interesting. 2 aces, 2 sevens. One more. And give me one more card, please, for Scorpio. Thank you. The Fool. Yeah, you feel like a brand new person. And you want to live by it. And you're willing to take the risks. All I can say is good luck and have fun. The Fool, the Hierophant, Justice, and the Moon. Some of you, it's not necessarily someone else that you know, as much as you just feel like you can't be in the place that you're at the moment, and you're willing to be alone or to go off your own way. If this is work, you might not have something lined up for you outside of the place, the job that you're at in this moment, but Queen of Swords just wanted to come out. But you're just willing to leave Aquarian energy with the Fool and the Queen of Swords together. Picked up. There's a strong energy of someone that was cut in the past. That cut someone or got cut off by someone, being returned to. And picked up is not the right. Chosen maybe? But will this Queen of Swords agree? Will the Queen of Swords take the Fool back? Or if it's new, will she accept his offer? King of Cups. If the Fool comes to her from a heart place, from a heart-based place, and not from the mind, then there's a chance. Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. There's a chance of building something very real and true. But it has to be... See, it's the same guy. Seven of Cups here and the King of Cups here. See how here he's looking at all these cups and all these options, and you know, he's kind of lost in fantasy, turning his back. Here he's facing forward with this clear gaze. The King of Cups is someone who mastered the realm of his emotions, knows what they want, and have a lot to offer from the heart space. They're very present. So if this king wants this queen, that's how they should go about it. There is somewhat of a soap opera here with a few people involved. This is a fun reading because it's so specific, quick. So if this is not your narrative, I mean, either way, check. I'm going to pull out Animal Spirit. Let's rearrange the table so you can see the cards. First of all, this is how they came up. Now I want you to see the elements, the repetition. So I'm going to pull Animal Spirit to see what they say. And also check your other placements. And regardless, the karmic shift and liberation is going to go deep into Scorpio energy karma. So it might connect to this and might not. We'll see. Where's the sevens? There's the seven. And Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords. Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. And here we have the Fool, Hierophant, Justice, and the Moon. And here we have King of Cups and Queen of Swords, Page of Wands, and the rest is not repeating. Okay. I feel like there's a secret that was hidden from someone that is coming to light. Someone is going to have an intuitive hit, like a very strong hunch, and they will look in the right place, and they will find either a piece of paper or a document that sets the wheels in motion, like in the mind. It might be more confusing than clarifying, because you know one door opens another and opens another, and it's like, and then starts like a journey of discovery of some sort of something. It feels like a family thing for some of you. There might be something about an ancestor that you didn't know of, that you're finding out, that is fascinating to you and you want to discover more. Some of you are not sure how you end up in your family, how you were born into the family you were born into, because it's such different energies and characters. But for those of you that will find something out about an ancestor or family member, things will connect and click, and you'll be like, oh, now I understand how I'm connected to all of this. There's a lot of idealism here, wanting to seek the truth and to share it with the world. You might also want to expose something that you feel needs to be exposed. Maybe you're the one who's exposing a certain truth that can shed light onto someone else's life. And some of you, it has to do with the childhood that you suppressed, that you just don't remember certain things. And once you'll remember, then you'll know. That will be like your own brain was hiding it from you, kind of thing. Interesting. Okay, let's see your animal spirit, Scorpio. Messages from the animal spirit for my Scorpio seekers for January, please. Guys, in the description box is all the links to the extended, to Tarot Masterclass, to the Karmic Shift and Liberation. And if you want to book a reading with me, it's the existentialshift.as.me. You can be anywhere in the world. If you have PayPal, we can talk, and the link to that is also below. Okay? And feel free to subscribe and join my channel if you're new. I'm happy to have you. All right. Elephant and... Ooh. Elephant and tarantula? What an interesting combination. Who else had tarantula? Oh my god, bottom of the deck, spider. Yeah, we're going to take it because of the affiliation. And the wolf, okay. All right. I can't see the wolf and not take it. Well, the tarantula and the spider are obviously connected. The wolf and the elephant are obviously connected. Both, they share similar frequencies, this and that. So, oh, look how interesting. So, the elephant and the tarantula are both the fire element. This triangle, upward triangle, is fire. And the spider and wolf are both earth element. So their element is the same, but they couldn't be any different than each other. And yet when you do this, earth and fire here, earth and fire here. Those together make more sense in their essence and their character, and so are these two. So there's two types of wisdom here. One is the cosmic wisdom, and one is the human wisdom. And there seemed to be quite the interesting integration. It's kind of how we started this reading. So you can either look at it like that, or look at it like that, because of the similar elements. Okay, so Scorpio, your energy is bringing some sort of integration between human consciousness and cosmic consciousness. And sorry, can you hear that? It's not my door. It's like the loudest door in the world, and it's one of my neighbors. That's insane that I can hear that. Sorry, it just kind of distracted me for a second. So you're bringing some sort of integration between these two types of wisdoms, integration between them. And I feel like for the longest time, Scorpio, you've kept it hidden in a way, like you haven't really shared with your environment the things that you know, the things that you feel, what it is that you can, what it is that you've seen. You've just been carrying it with you for as long as you have. The wolf here is the teacher, is the shaman. It brings forth leadership and truth. It speaks. I actually don't see an antagonism between these energies. Naturally, you would think, right? It seems to me like the energies want to integrate within each other. Like here, the background is only dark. Here, light and a little bit of reddish comes in. Now it's also the dark, but all kinds of color come in, and this is all the red. And it feels like it's kind of us. What's the word? I forget the word. It's like a transition process, and it's a circular one. You can look at it from different turns. I hope I'm clear and I'm not losing you guys. But this whole earth and fire here, seemingly things that are different from each other elements wise. Earth and fire, you know, it's like water and air. It's not, they don't necessarily work together. But here it's like they want to. So maybe it's time, Scorpio, to bring these two energies in you together. And when you speak, or when you teach, or when you communicate, express yourself from both of these aspects together, right? As opposed to one group of friends or one situation, speak like this or speak like that. Find a language that shares all these aspects in you, and communicate that as a whole, as a wholesome thing to people around you. Now something completely different is coming up. Wow, okay. So that was that. That was one message. There's another thing now. Bit more cosmic and ethereal. So it's said that there is a war happening now between light and shadow. between dark beings and light beings. You have two around you, Scorpio. You have one that has been leeching on you for a very long time, a dark energy that has been pulling you down energetically. But you also have some spirit guides that are highly protective over you. One older than the other, an older one and a younger one. That are working diligently on protecting you against this. And it's all in the auric field. So if you feel somewhat of a push and pull, Scorpio, if you have weird dreams and things like that, this could be it. If you encounter different opportunities to make a right versus wrong decision, make the right decision. It's like it's this energy trying to pull you back to its frequency, back down to its frequency. And as you choose the truth and the right thing every time, you'll give your spirit guides more power. Feed that wolf and not the tarantula. Another thing, oh my God. Wow, animals. How much do you have to say? More mature, mentor-like knowledge. This is younger, more seeker-like knowledge. Just in this case, normally the wolf is a very, very wise being. But just because of their size and the energy that I'm getting from them now, some of you are transitioning to a stage where you can now teach and pass your knowledge forward. And as you will enter this stage of the teaching, a student will come, or people who can learn from you will enter your life. Or as you enter a stage of being ready to learn something, a mentor will come into your life. This is something very prominent in January, but it's also, this message is for February as well. I'm just getting. The wolf is one of the spirit animals for Aquarius, the sign and the animal of humanity. And Aquarius is February time. And this feels very January, deep winter time. Some of you are called to carry an amulet of some sort, a sigil, some sort of symbol. If this speaks to you and you happen to book a reading with me, add the runic sigil option to it. For very few little more dollars, I create a tailor-made sigil, runic sigil, for you based off your energy and your needs. So if this speaks to you, you can do that if you want to, but you don't have to do it with me. You can do it with anyone, or just buy something that you like, something elsewhere, or create something for yourself. Ivory. Oh. Oh, to those of you who have ivory at home, you know, where a magnificent elephant had to be hurt so you could have it. What's coming up is that you're asked to say a prayer over it and thank the elephant and promise to not support this industry again. I'm sorry, it's just coming up super strong now. For those of you who have any sort of ivory at home, or even more so an elephant horn, it's very painful to them, and they're getting killed for it. It's already illegal in so many places, but they still do it somehow. Even if it's old, even if it's from 20 years ago, it doesn't matter. Sage it or something. Thank the spirit of the elephant, say a prayer. Something shaman-like. Because it carries a frequency of dark pain. And it attracts some sort of energies to your house. It's hard to explain. But if you'll do that, it could help a lot. If you have an animal at home, like a dog, a pet, and you live like a place in nature where you have all kinds of types of spider, be careful specifically in this coming month from a spider that your pet might, play with or try to bite, and it might turn out to be poisonous. Okay, so take a close look of your pets to make sure they're not eating any poisonous spiders or getting stung by them. And this is a message for me as well that is coming up, and it's also for those of you out there who lost a pet. They are really around you in spirit. You should know that. It's coming up very, very strong. I will see you guys in a second in your Karmic Shift and Liberation Special Extended. I love you guys. Join the shift if you haven't yet. And I'll see you in the new decade.